Hello everybody, Jess here. I am with Wow Embossing Powder today, and we are going to be altering some chipboards. You know me, I love my chipboard. And today we're going to be altering a chipboard door, as you see, and I am using some Wow Embossing Powder. I started off with the Embossing Pad, and I liked it, but I knew I wanted a thick layer of embossing powder on the door. I wanted it to be a good, dense, thick layer. So I first used the embossing pad, and then as you see, I'll go in with the pen as well from Seth Apter to get a thicker coat, a thicker and heavier coat of the Wow adhesive onto that chipboard piece. And I'm covering it entirely with the beautiful embossing powder that has been inspired by Marian Emberson. It's called Vintage Romance. So the whole door is embossed with this embossing powder, as you're going to see, and you can see it change and it melt as I'm using the heat gun here. It's just magnificent. You can start to see it there. It really is great. And then now we're moving on to some of the background elements, which are some chipboard filigree pieces, which I am going to use some of their green embossing powder. Wow, this one is also inspired by Marian Emberson, called Jealous Guy. So that's what I'm going to be using to alter these chipboard pieces. Whenever I was whenever the offer came to me to be able to be the mixed media artist for the month of March for Wow Embossing Powder, I took it seriously, and I was like, you know what, I want to come up with a theme. I want to come up with, a general idea for the whole month for all my projects. So as you will have come to see, I decided to go with a classic kind of spring farmhouse kind of feel, with a little bit more of like a modern take on it, because it's not there isn't a lot of dark pieces in it. It doesn't have like that vintage feel, but I still consider it like a classic spring kind of farm feel. And now what I've decided to do is, you saw me use a little bit of acrylic paint to distress the edges of the door. And then I decided to go in with embossing powder. I thought that would be a really cool idea. Something different. I haven't really seen that used. Not that it hasn't been used, but I've never seen anybody use embossing powder as a distress look. I don't know how to even explain that. It's kind of weird. But yeah, so I used the embossing powder and distressed the edges of it to give it that more intense distressed look. I really, really love how it came out. And now it's time to start piecing our beautiful creation together, layer by layer. And I start with the chipboard filigree, as you see. And then I am going to water down a little bit of that same acrylic paint that's on the edges of the door, and just splatter the entire surface with it. So that's what I'm about to do right here, as you see. I love to splatter. I am a splatter junkie. Most everything has splatters in it that I make. Though there are some times when, I don't. I call it a clean creation. That's what I call them when I don't use splatters. I'm like, it's something clean, right? It's something totally different from what I would normally do. But yeah, so splatters is if you asked anybody who has been following my social medias for any amount of time, they would actually tell you that splatters is one of my what would you call it? I don't know. It just one of my signatures. There you go. Signatures is a good word to pretty much all my art pieces. So yeah, and it goes with it. And we added all of our we added all of our flowers bit by bit, layer by layer. And we're going to finish it up here with some more, of course, chipboard pieces, filigree leaves. And we're going to alter these with both the let's see. No, actually, we're just altering these with primary bark. I apologize. I was thinking for some reason I used another 2 embossing powders on these, but I didn't. It was just the one. I have the Crusty Copper. I believe I forgot to actually say which embossing powder I used on the edges of my door, and the embossing powder for that was the Seth Apter Crusty Copper embossing powder. But the filigree leaves here I embossed with the Wow Primary Bark embossing powder, the brown embossing, and it's just beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful how these came out. I really love it. It's just amazing. And I hadn't really worked with embossing powder a whole lot before this opportunity, so it has been amazing to to have actually learning more about the product and getting more comfortable with it. So it's really been an amazing opportunity, and I'm grateful to be here and to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time and watching. Last bit is we're adding a couple of sticker sentiments from Finnabear's sticker quote book. She came out, I don't know, it's been a little bit. I can't even find that book anymore, guys. But yeah, I'm curving them a little bit with my nail, just very slightly, just to give them a little bit more dimension on the piece, because I don't like just the flat stickers. So, and then here we are. We're all finished. We are completing. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial with me today, and I hope I inspired you. That's the most important thing. I hope I was inspiring to you today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And you guys have a great day. Bye.